So this is the topic from BSc Second Plant Protection, weeds and their management. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about poisonous weeds. Myself, Dr. Sujit Jadhav, Assistant Professor from Department of Botany, SBR College, Maswad. So first of all, one should understand what is the meaning of poisonous weeds. Poisonous weeds, that is not a special group, but the plants which are causing some problems or allergies, or the plants which are harmful to the human being and the economically important crop plants as well as to the livestock or the animals are known as poisonous weeds. So poisonous weeds can be defined in short as the plants that came in contact with the humans or economically important crop plants or animals, or they may be touched or ingested, then which cause the fatal or harmful effects on the animals or plants or human beings. Such plants are known as poisonous weeds. These weeds have some special adaptations. Actually, these adaptations, they have been produced by that particular weed plant for the protection meaning. That is, to make them safe from their enemies. These plants, they produces, every plant actually produces defense mechanism against the attack of the enemies. Some plants, they produces the prickles or thorns or spines, and some plants, they develops particular chemicals which are poisonous or harmful to their enemies. Through these particular physical barriers or chemical barriers like toxic substances, each plant which has its own creating its own defense mechanism, such plants are called as poisonous plants. These plants, if they are growing vigorously and unwantedly, undesirably, growing where they are not actually suited or not desired, such plants are called as poisonous weeds. They create health problems for humans and animals, or are undesirable where they are growing. They are actually offering the irritations to the skin. They are causing some wounds to the skins of humans or animals or the crops which are growing along with them through their thorns or spines, as well as if they have been ingested or by animals or human beings, or if they are coming in contact with the economically important crop plant or the part of the economically important crop plant, then they may cause some problems physiologically as well as physically also. So they may cause skin irritations or digestive tract of the people and animals. They have been disturbed. The physical irritations via thorns, pickles or burrs, or chemical irritations via natural poisons or irritants in the weeds. For example, the poisons found in Nerium species, because of this particular Nerium plant which is a poisonous, the animals, domestic animals or livestock, they do not eat Nerium plant. Then dermatitis, nausea, vomiting and itchiness, these are some usual symptoms they have been produced by these weeds in humans and animals. Some common toxic substances produced by plants are like alkaloids, which are bitter in taste and nitrogen containing. Second one is glycoside, which is derivative of sugars that are hydrolyzed upon contact with an enzyme. Cyanogenic glycosides, when ingested or chewed, produces hydrolyzed cyanide acid, that is HCN, which we well know, which is a most deadly poison. Tannins are another compounds which are astringent and bitter in taste. Then oxalates are also produced by plants that are toxic to kidney and can be precipitated in many parts of the body, including the brain. Then we are going to discuss about some weeds which are found around us, very common plants, but they are called as poisonous weeds. We will discuss about them. The first one is Arzemon mexicana. In Marathi we call it as Pivla Dhotra. The common name is Mexican poppy. This plant is actually imported or introduced in India through Mexican country. The seeds of this plant contains 22 to 36% of pale yellow non-edible oil, which contains toxic alkaloids, sanguinarine and dihydroxysanguinarine. They show epidemic dropsy with symptoms including extremely swelling, particularly to the legs. Then another weed which has been introduced in India from American countries, that is Parthenium Hysterophorus. In Marathi we call it as a Congress or Gajar Gavat, which is the most common invasive species in India nowadays. Parthenium Hysterophorus plant causes milk disease in livestock, and also they are responsible for respiratory malfunctioning in humans. While uprooting or managing these particular weeds by hand, they may cause skin irritations or wounds. Then another weed, that is Zanthiam Stromerium. In Marathi we call it as landga, which is commonly known as burweed or cocklebur, can be poisonous to livestock including horses, cattle and sheep. Some domestic animals, they are actually avoiding consuming this plant, but incidentally if they eat it, the pigs like animals, when they eat it, then they sickens and then die. The seedlings and seeds are the most toxic parts of this plant. Symptoms usually occur within a few hours, producing unsteadiness and weakness, depression, nausea and vomiting, twisting of neck muscles, rapid and weak pulse, difficulty in breath, and at the last eventually the death. Then another plant, that is Datura species, which is also known as Jimson weed, which is having tropane alkaloids, scopolamine, then atropine. All these parts of these plants are poisonous, especially the seeds and flowers. Ingestion causes abnormal thirst, hyperthermia, severe delirium and incoherence, visual distortions, bizarre and possibly violent behavior. Memory loss may also cause. Then patient may go into coma, and then often the death may occur. It is a significant poison to grazing livestock in North America. The difference between recreational dose and the lethal dose is minuscule, and incorrect dosage often results in death. For this same reason, the Torah has also been a popular poison for suicide and murder, particularly in parts of Europe and India. Then another weed, that is Euphorbia pulcherrima, commonly known as poinsettia. Its latex can cause allergic reaction in sensitive individuals. It is also mildly irritating to the skin or stomach and may sometimes cause diarrhea and vomiting if eaten. Then another weed, that is Lantana camera. In Marathi we call it as ghaneri. This weed is also actually introduced in India through American countries, Mexican countries, as a garden plant actually, but now because of its vigorous growth, it may grow or it has been called as a weed. It is commonly growing on roadsides, open lands, etc. These are known as big sage. The toxicity of Lantana camera to humans is undetermined. Then another weed is Viscum. Then Calotropis gigantea. Calotropis gigantea is nothing but Mandara or Rui, the milky latex of this particular weed, which is a poisonous. So these are some weeds. They have been summarized over here with their health problems, and that is hay fever and asthma, which is caused by pollens of ambrosia and franceria. Then dermatitis may be caused because of Parthenium and ambrosia. Then itching and inflammation may be caused because of Yttria, Utricularia species, etc., African sleeping sickness, which is a health problem disease which is caused by brush weeds, then malaria, then filaria, they have been caused by mosquitoes, and these mosquitoes, they have been developed because of the weeds like pistia and salvinia. So this is all about the poisonous weeds.